And we're back. Keep this one brief for my own sake. The last one definitely got away from me. I like to ramble on. I like to have a little chat, and we'll see where it goes. So, time for me to set out some plans going forward. Something to hold myself accountable for. Something to really give me a pathway going forward. I've had it in my head, but to say it out loud really does, I think, put it into perspective. I've only told a handful of people what my plans are. Pie in the sky for some people, but if you don't try, then you can't ever succeed. If you don't do something that you think is unattainable, then you never know if it really was unattainable. So yeah, we'll give it a go. Starting now Monday next week, we're going back to basics. A couple of weeks leading into Christmas, we'll have about 4 weeks worth of training, nice and not relaxed, but nice and relatively simple, shall we say, in terms of the structure. Nothing too extravagant, nothing too fancy. It's like a 4-day-a-week kind of structure, not necessarily doing 4 days of a whole week, but it'll be 4 out of 7 at least. I'm going to go for some volume, 5, 6s and 7s, so volume, but powerlifter. We'll have some primary days with competition focused movements, competition squat, competition bench, competition deadlift, and then we'll have some variations, pin squats, pause deadlifts, long pause benches, I believe. But we'll see. I'll put the plan together, we'll have a look, we'll give it a go, see where we end up. And yeah, into Christmas is going to be hard diet-wise. I do want to try and keep on top of where I am, but I've got a lot of social commitments. I'm sure I said that last time. Meals with friends, meals with family, almost expectations with family. I'm not the sort of person, I'm not your Eddie Halls or whatever. I know he didn't take a single day off when he went to pull his max deadlift, his 500 kilos or whatever. I've got a life. I want to live my life. My life doesn't revolve around powerlifting or my goals. They just want to keep me straight and narrow. They want to keep my brain in check, keep me feeling mentally healthy. It's what provides me with stability. The gym's always the same. The weights are always the same. To quote the really frustratingly repetitive Adam Bishop Silverback advert, 100 kilos always 100 kilos. The weights never let me down, as he said. God, I watch too much YouTube. Anyway, I'm going to do my best to keep my diet in check. I'd like to stay around, or at least stay below the 120 kilo mark. I'm back to where I was. I did balloon out over the weekend for competition, but I had 600 grams of carbs on competition day. My body just bloated. Back to the 120 again now. I'll get below 120 through December. If I can get closer to 117, that'll be great. 118 will be fine. Losing a kilo with all the social events I've got going on would be fantastic. It's not going to be perfect, but if I can keep myself in check, keep my cardio up, there's been something that's really been helpful as well. Chucking a podcast on, going for a walk. It's bitterly cold at the moment, but my mental state really does benefit from it. Not enough people do it. Don't worry about your heart. Well, worry about your heart, but don't do cardio for that. Do cardio outside, just for clarity, just so you're not thinking about life, you're not thinking about the troubles of work, you're not thinking about your relationship, you're not thinking about money. Just put a podcast on, find someone you're interested in, listen to it, and just disappear mentally for an hour. It's really refreshing. Definitely put me into a completely different headspace. After Christmas, I've got 3 months. The wedding will be coming thick and fast. January, February, March will disappear before I know it, and April 3rd I'm getting married. I'm buzzing. It's going to be such a good time. I'm going to love the day, love the honeymoon. We're going to Vegas. Laura's brother's been instrumental in making that happen. It's been fantastic. And I'm genuinely excited. I couldn't be more excited for the wedding. Laura's worked so hard for it, and yeah, she deserves all the plaudits that she's going to get. I need to write my speech. She's been banging on at me for months about it, but we'll get it done. Back to gym. I'm going to get to 115. 115 is the goal. 115 or below, maybe 114 point whatever. if I finish the cut there and I'm happy with that, I know that by the time I move back to maintenance calories, I increase my carbs and I get my water weight to come back on, I know that I'm walking around at 120 then. When it comes to competitions next year, I don't want to be doing cutting. It wasn't necessarily stressful, but going into the competition at Kongs on the 25th, that was rough. I did a day where I didn't really eat. I had like 1,200 calories or something crazy. I got all blocked up. I had to, shove apples and grapes into me just to clear myself out a little bit. That literally moved a kilo off the scales. I was hanging at 120.5. That got me to 119.5 just from that. And then a hot bath, cut my water out. I think I had like a litre of water. That's all I had to drink all day. Maybe a black coffee on top of that. It was miserable. So next year, I don't really want to be doing that too much if I can help it. If I'm, 120 point something and I need to do a little cut on, the day before competition, I'm sure it won't be too bad. But I don't want to do a week's worth of 1,700 calories and just misery. It was rough. And I know people do worse. So good on them. Not for me. I'm a big boy, I like to eat, so we're going to do it that way. And then post-wedding, I've got 14 weeks. Welsh Powerlifting Association. The calendar isn't friendly or isn't necessarily compatible with mine. We've got a competition on the January, I want to say it's the 27th. That is the Winter Cup. It's too soon for me to compete. I wish I could. Particularly because I know that they're planning on announcing qualifying totals, and I'd like to see what they are and at least try and achieve that at some point this year. I'll get into that. But January's too soon. It's less than 8 weeks away now, or just about 8 weeks away. I could compete, but I won't be anywhere near where I need to be. If I'm only putting up 615, 620, I'm nowhere near my old total. I'm still cutting. I'm still not where I need to be, like health and body wise. So not ready. The Welsh Cup or the Welsh Championships is in April. I'd love to do that. Again, if there's going to be qualifying totals, then I wouldn't necessarily qualify. I haven't competed for the Welsh Powerlifting Association for over a year. So I need to get a total on the board and get myself to there. So July 27th, Welsh Powerlifting Association Summer Cup. That's my goal. It's 14 weeks when I get back from the wedding. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna train hard. I'm gonna absolutely obliterate myself, and I'm going into that to take my all total down. 645 on the platform minimum, with a 40 kilo less body weight. It's gonna be fantastic. Now, in the meantime, if that's looking good, if that's looking easy, if I maintain the strength I've got now at what's probably a 620 total, adding 25 kilos over those 14 weeks should be nothing. Put some food in me, get my bench sorted. Deadlift will only get better with food because I can train harder. Same for squat. I'm still getting used to my levers after losing some weight, but I feel good with squat now. It makes sense. My shoulders hurt less because I'm able to get into a better position. My hips hurting less because I can squat a little bit narrower now, just because there's less of me to get between my legs to hit depth. So, yeah, beat my old total. If I'm there on the day and my old total is a drop in the water, if 645 is simple and I know the qualifying total I need for 2025 Welsh, or the region of where I need to be for 2025 Welsh, I'm going to go for it. I think that would be very achievable. If to qualify for Britain's is 700 this year, I think for the Welsh 650, 660 as a qualifying total is probably appropriate. Just because that's the entry to a step lower. I think that's probably going to be sensible. I hope that they think so too, and that's where they put it. Not that everyone should be able to qualify, but I don't think a 650, 660 total is to be sniffed at. I'm going to be squatting and benching 250 plus, deadlifting, squatting and deadlifting 250 plus, benching probably about 150 plus. So it's got to be done. I think 650 is appropriate. I think that's what we want. If they haven't announced it, or if the day doesn't go the way I want, or if 6:45 is all I've got, or a little bit less. Big ifs, but if that's all we're at, then that's all we're at. They've got another competition. It's in October. It'll be again about the same. I think it's about 14, 16 weeks away after that. So we'll run it back. We'll go again. Keep with the food, keep with the training, push hard. There's no doubt I'll be able to qualify at that time. My strength will be coming back to where it was. If I'll be 270, 280 plus on squat and deadlift by then, comfortably. That'll be almost it's 7 or 8 months back training with food. I'll be back to pretty much my old self, but at a lower body weight. I know it's possible. It's going to happen, so we'll do it. We'll get there. I do kind of want to go back to Kongs. I want to give them a bit of a shout out. They're probably going to do a summer cup this year. I'm not going to be around for that. That's probably going to interfere with my plans for the Welsh Summer Cup as well. So I'll volunteer, or I can imagine I will want to volunteer provided I'm not busy. They were really good this year, or in last week. So to give back to them would be really good. Just whether it's to help ref in, spot in, load in, or if they just want someone to mop the floor after there's chalk everywhere. I'll give them a hand. If I don't need to compete for the Welsh in October, I may just have a fun SBD day with them for their winter competition. I know a few of my friends, I know maybe Mike or Erica, maybe even my partner Laura might fancy giving that a go, either in the summer or the winter, so maybe I'll be down helping out coaching as well. So we'll see. But yeah, if I don't do the Welsh Autumn Cup, then Kong's Winter Cup is a go. We'll have some fun with that. Put on a bit of a show, see if I can do better than I did this year. Should imagine I will. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm probably going to try and volunteer for the Welsh Powerlifting Association as well for their competitions. If I can, I might see if I can get in on the January one, just to give them a bit of a hand. Again, powerlifting is all about community, and we should definitely be getting involved in the community. I'm a firm believer of that. All the guys are great, all the girls are great, obviously, but just a generalised term, all the guys are great. Very chatty, very involving. I've met a lot of guys through Kongs, through the original Welsh Powerlifting Championships I did. So yeah, just to give back to them and just to kind of get my name out there as well, just so people know who I am. If it comes and we're on a Commonwealth year, we're on a Home Nations year, wherever that works out to be, I'd love to represent my country. I've never done it before for any sport, although I haven't really played much sport outside of rugby, but I'd like to do that. So that's my goals. We're going to qualify for the Welsh, and then 2025 we're going to go to the Welsh, and we're going to qualify for the British. It's going to be 700 to 710 for a total. It's going to be hard work. It's going to require a lot of sacrifice on my behalf. I'm going to have to really nail my diet. I should probably hire a coach in that time, which I don't really have at the moment. I know Donut Barbell is definitely at the top of my list for that. I want them to be my coaches. Both Jake and Sabrina, I think, probably some of the best in Wales, locally, and probably in the UK. I know they've both taken athletes to world championships. It's just as much the athlete as the coach, but yeah, I see this stuff all the time. A lot of what they say aligns with what I believe. So yeah, that's where we're at, and I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. We're going to do it. We'll get to the wedding. We'll get that sorted. Not that I want to get it out of the way, but we'll get it done. Get the wedding out of the way. Have the honeymoon. Have a wicked time. We've got so much planned for the honeymoon. I could not be more excited for that. We're going to have, honestly, just the best time. And then we've got a big season ahead next year. We're going to smash it. And away to go. That'll do for tonight. I'm tired. My cat is snoring. And yeah, there we go.